Hey man, what's going on? It's Cool Water, the digital dope man. I just got through watching the Gary Vaynerchuk, aka Gary V video, and it was how to become a millionaire. So I did a podcast on Gary some time ago, maybe about a year back, and I was talking about the fact that Gary had invisible capital, which helped to catapult him into the type of wealth that you really ain't got time to count. More or less stratospheric wealth. Gary, as he was talking about his situation, started talking about as a youth, he had to come in at 14 years old, work in the store. He might work from 7 to 7. And he was getting paid. His daddy had him on a salary between 30 and 50,000. So at that young age, as he became older, he saved his money. He didn't spend it. He was doing a lot of saving. So as he got older and moved out, he got him an apartment. And, he's sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then, he meets his wife probably in his late 20s. Somewhere in there, did the college thing, came back, worked in the store, saved his money, helped the store grow, and also become part of the wine industry. But his daddy, he said, mother and father saved, and they rose and built the store up to a $3 to $4 million a year store. Now, when I did this podcast, I talked about invisible capital. And Gary now is probably, close to $100 million dude as a result of the parenting and what they did previously with the store and him being a youngster, being on payroll, paying, making the money. The same thing that the Asians did, which was immigrants that come into the community, the black community, will be the same thing that Gary Vaynerchuk done, because I'm sure his parents set up a store in New Jersey in the black neighborhood and did what all immigrants do, sell to black people. That's one of the reasons niggas like him so much, because he got a little bit of the style, he got a little bit of the swag, he talk a little bit of the shit, and we can connect to that. We connected Gary on that level. So Gary made his real introduction into wealth based off of what Chris Rabb calls invisible capital. His ability to have somebody in the background, the shadow, the secret shadow, the secret, as they say, the secret FBI, KGB, American CIA intelligence, Russian intelligence, the people in the background maneuvering, helping you get to where you need to be. In this case, it was his parents, because they already had a comfortable lifestyle. And at the age of 14, he was able to be put on payroll and make that kind of money. Black folks don't have that and have not had that opportunity. So when you hear people talk, now, like I said before, I like Gary. He a cool dude. He got some of that nigga in him from running and probably interacting with a lot of niggas in the street. When you hear him talk, you can't do nothing but get passionate. But like I was telling one of my girls, white girl named Jackie, I said, you probably could get away with doing the same shit Gary Vaynerchuk does, which is cuss folks out to get your point across. And she was like, well, that really ain't my style. She said, but I do have a filthy mouth when I'm in private. But again, it sounds better coming from a white boy. The script and the recipe that he's selling, a lot of black folks ain't able to maximize on that shit because we don't have invisible capital. See, this is the issue. This is what I'm saying. It's no invisible capital that allows a lot of Negroes to be able to catapult into the stratosphere of real wealth. Most of us come from poverty, come from a poor background, and our parents don't own no corner store. I'm in the neighborhood. I live in the neighborhood We got the Pakistans on the corner at the Texaco gas station. We got the other Paks across the street. They got the Western Union. You got the East Indian with the ice cream parlor over here at the Dairy Queen. You got McDonald's. You got the liquor store ran by the Asians right here. The Chinese restaurant. There's two of them across the street. One selling wings. Both of them sell wings. They sell something else too. Rallies. So these people coming in the neighborhood and they getting rich. You ain't, and you can't. Because ain't nobody giving you the loans. Ain't nobody allowing you that opportunity. Now, it's a few Africans. Let's not leave them out. Who are able to come in and set up some type of corner store or some type of establishment. But the African don't do business typically with the intent of bonding and building relationships with the so-called African Americans here in America. So they eat. The African getting money too, right? Because he's set up in the neighborhood. See? But the original people that's living in the neighborhood or so-called AKA the ghetto, they not really getting it like that. So Gary mainly is talking to white America, leaving the front door open for the niggas that want to come in and hear the game. Like I said, I like Gary. He a cool dude. He got a little funky. You know, he's spunky. But his story ain't your story, and it'll never be your story because you don't have what he had, which is invisible capital. Gary was in a position to be able to, as a youth, put back hundreds of thousands of dollars, turn around, go to school, get educated, come back home, help SEO, monetize the website for the store, or monetize the website for the wine company that him and his daddy started. Go out there to Silicon Valley, get some more game, meet more people, learn how to become a real internet entrepreneur, catapult the company to, 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars. And now it's the dudes you see today giving you this game. Like you said, he worked. Most immigrants that come into the neighborhood, that's all they do is work. Because they know that they getting so much money off of the backs of blacks that they can do it and exceedingly be richer in the next 5 to 6 years than they would be if they went to college and got a job because their parents already got the store. There's not a store on my block that you don't see an immigrant in there working from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then somebody come in and take over and work from 7 p.m. to 2 and 3 in the morning. There's not a store on my block that's not doing that. But they eating, see? And they getting millions of dollars over an extended period of time, and then boom, they pull them out. Them folks go get set up, move out, buy homes, establish their families, and they got a certain amount of wealth to invest into the economy. And then they bring in some new immigrants. And then they work for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Then they get paid. Because they know, hell, black folks' money is disposable. And we're going to continue to spend. They just had the little Jordan Retro 11 shoe release. Niggas breaking their neck to get them old ass shoes that we seen back in 95, 96, 97, charging $180 for them shoes. Jordan need to be shaming himself, but it's business. It's capitalism. What can you do? They eating. Nike is $1 billion company. Jordan is $1 billion dude. They eating. But ain't nobody teaching these folks, man. Them shoes it cost $15 to make them shoes. They making them shoes over there in China, Korea, wherever they making them at, and they getting paid. They selling them to you for a 1,000% markup. What you gonna do with that? You can't. Ain't nothing you can do with it. So I don't want to be too long on this, but it's a lot of people, man, selling pipe dreams. I like Gary. Don't get me wrong. Maybe one day we'll meet when I'm sitting at the table with a few million in my pocket. But the reality is, black folks have to understand that a lot of these folks got a helping hand. They have invisible capital. They coming from some form of money, which allows them to get a head start on you. It's just like slavery. 400-year head start. If You was able to work somebody for 400 years and not pay them no health, no insurance, no dental, no medical, limited housing, barely giving them food. Shit, you'll be rich too. You'll be hella rich. That's what these corporations out here that you see set up. JP Morgan and Chase, Bank of America, Bloomingdale's, Macy's, Lehman Brothers. All them cats got started during the slave era. That's why they eating the way they eating. And you participating in an economic society, man, that you really helped build. You know, but to tell people to work, just work, grind, spend all your time, that's good. I don't have no problem with that. But it's how you work, and it's the strategy that you work. I mean, shit, I need capital too. Hell, I need some backing. I could catapult my situation 100 times faster, like my brother said, if you had the money. If I had the money, I know what to do. I could catapult my situation 100 times faster with an abundance of capital, right? Providing that I ain't got to go into debt to get it. And this is one of the things that y'all need to understand, man. People telling you how to move, but they're not telling you their genealogy. A lot of these guys come from some upper middle class to wealthy background. Mark Cuban, upper middle class to wealthy. A lot of them guys on the Shark Tank. Damon John came from what we would know to be pretty much a standard lower middle class lifestyle. His mama put the house up. He made good. He was able to make some millions. He moved on into the business world, and he's still doing good. But that's typical for us. It ain't typical for a lot of white immigrants and a lot of white folk, because at the end of the day, some of them come from money. Not to say all, so I don't want y'all seeing this video and getting offended, but it's not to say all, but there's a large population of people who have starting capital from their family to be able to catapult. Gary Vaynerchuk being one. So, like I said, I like the spitty spitting. It's cool. It's good shit, as he say, you know. But at the end of the day, you have to listen between the lines. He had an economic stimulus package from his family, which allowed him to catapult him to the stratosphere of wealth with the correct knowledge, with the right process, with the right strategies. He was able to move and do the things that he is doing now. Hey, look, man, I'm Cool Water, the digital dope man. Check me out. ishiphopdead.com. Look for me at thedigitaldopeman.com. Be on the lookout for the lecture, Who Killed the Black Entrepreneur? Please leave a comment on this video so I can continue to build. Subscribe to the videos. I got some more coming down the pipe. Look for my chat, my podcast, Ballroom Chats. You can put that in at Spreaker. Check for that. And let's politic and build, man. You know, I got next at the round table. Peace.